Okay, so wonderful. And we have Susanna here, Susanna Sarmon, who is the director of the Hungarian Tourism Agency. So she has spent quite a bit of time in the US at the moment, and also for the last few months or maybe year, she has been back in Budapest due to unforeseen restrictions. But it's been such an honor and a pleasure for us as True Marketing to be collaborating with this destination. We have learned a lot in a very short time, which is exactly what is going to happen for you in the next 45 minutes or so. She's just a wealth of knowledge, and I would encourage anybody who hasn't looked at the destination in depth before really to look closer, because it's a tiny country with a huge punch, so many things to do and see and explore, and it's just fascinating. As we go into different niches, it gets more and more interesting. So I'm going to welcome her. She can kick it off, and also, use the chat function here. Type your questions as she goes along. We can go through them afterwards. It's no worries, or feel free to raise the hand and we can call on you. But she's going to give you a really nice background. Hopefully you've all received your gift cards. You're eating lunch or breakfast depending on your time zone, and we really thank you for joining us. So I'm going to turn it over to Susanna so she can kick it off and start to tell you some more about Hungary.
All right, thank you so much, Gabriela. So again, thank you for this opportunity and welcome everyone. I'm happy you had the opportunity to join us today. And yes, I hope you are enjoying your lunch. It's for me actually 5 p.m. so it's wine time. I just didn't prepare my wine, but after this presentation for sure. So actually, we've been thinking with Gabriela that it's great to get together in a smaller circle and tell you more about the hidden gems of Hungary as well. And I prepared actually with a presentation, which is like a little round trip around Hungary, just for you to understand how easy it is to get around the city, the country. And once you are in Budapest, it's really great to venture out of the capital city as well. And maybe we can work on it later on with some of you or all of you to create additional programs about Hungary. So maybe like a 3 days to 5 days road trip even around the whole country. So with this, I would share my screen and share some of the great regions of Hungary with you. Okay, let me start with this. So actually, accessibility is really easy. I really hope that flights will be back very soon. And so before COVID, we had non-stop flights from New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia. But as well, if you reach any European hubs, so Frankfurt, Munich, Paris, or London even, or Amsterdam, it's just 1 to 2.5 hour flight to arrive to our country. And as well, as we are talking about road trips today, you can see the travel times as well throughout the country, as everything is centered in Budapest. So you would start your journey and your guests would start the journey in Budapest. And like the longest route is from Budapest, it's like a 2.5 hour maximum by car as well. And talking about cars, if your clients would rent a car, it's absolutely possible. And for those who already used to drive in Europe, it's really easy. The signs are international, and in the times of GPS, it's easy as well to get around with it. So absolutely, I do recommend as well to rent a car, or for those who you wanna have like a guide with, I recommend to hire, a driver who can be their guides as well along the route. So last year we named 11 touristic destinations throughout the country, which you can see on the map. And I would go not in all of them, but some of them one-on-one to explain more about the regions. So first we would go to the east of the country, to the Eger region. The Eger region is like a 1.5 hour drive from Budapest on highway, and it's really an amazing region. You can have, so there is a great nature around. Our highest mountains are in this region as well. So it's really great for active vacation. We have a so-called Blue Trail, which is going throughout the whole country. It's more than 1,500 kilometers long route. Obviously, you can just take part of them. And that was the first like active hiking route which was established in Europe. And obviously, if some guests would like to go by train, it's as well great, which it's a narrow gauge railway, which is connecting actually the little villages, little towns in the mountains. So it's just great to hop on for some stops to it. And of course, we have amazing spa culture throughout the whole country. Hungary has more than 1,000 thermal springs. 85% of our country has some form of thermal water. And the salt hills of Egerszalog, Egerszalog is just next to Eger, the next village. And it's really a natural wonder. These kind of salt hills, actually, you can find only in Pamukkale in Turkey, and in the Yellowstone Natural Park. And it's actually created by thermal water. You have as well a huge thermal resort in this place, which is great for wellness, spa, and even medical purposes. And to go on in this region, this is my favorite. Lillafüred is really like a fairy tale location. That palace, which you can see there on the picture, is a castle, a palace hotel. And it has hanging gardens, it has amazing waterfalls. The lake just next to the palace, you can have like a rowboat tour even. So really just enjoy the nature. And with you can even go on the top of the mountain to have a beautiful view. And talking about local programs, really local adventures, you can become part of the local community for a day, for example. Tard is a very little village. There are only 600 inhabitants living there. And you have like a cultural world heritage here, the Hungarian embroidery. So these ladies, the grandmothers of Tard, are keeping it alive. You can learn embroideries from there. You can cook your lunch together with them. They are teaching you as well to the local flavors, how to cook and bake Hungarian cakes, for example. And you can dress in the local clothes as well. So the old way of living, what you can experience with this program, actually. And last but not least from this region is the city of Eger, which is famous from its castle and the siege against the Ottoman Empire, because Hungarians fought back the Turks here in the city of Eger as well. So this ensures a place in our history books for the town forever. Going on more to the east part of the country, we arrived to the Tokaj wine region. Anybody who knows Hungarian wine, it should be from Tokaj, the Tokaj Asszú, which is a natural sweet wine. And this region was the first closed wine growing region in the world from the 1700s. And the wine is produced here with the most expensive techniques as well. So obviously this is a great region for wine, but as well for castles and nature. It has an amazing number of castles, this region. The Rákóczi castle, which is on the left on the picture, has a really great cultural value, and they have many concerts amongst their walls. And the Boldog castle is rather a fortress. It sits on the top of a volcanic hill, which provides amazing views. And some more castles, of course, of this region. The Füzér Castle has been renovated recently and has really great museums inside as well. And it stands as well on a volcanic hill on the most northern point of Hungary as well. Going from the northeast to the southwest, actually, to the Pécs region, which is our Mediterranean area. The city of Pécs actually was founded in the 2nd century, and it was old Catholic city as well. So you will find World Heritage sites in the city, the old cemetery of Pécs as well, but it has a lot of Ottoman heritage as well, the old mosque and the minaret as well. So it's amazing to just walk through the city and enjoy the architecture as well. But a really amazing and very cute neighborhood is the Zsolnai Cultural Quarter, which is actually, the Zsolnai is as well a porcelain family, a porcelain manufacturer. And the family was manufactured porcelain in this quarter since the 18th century. It's the 2nd biggest porcelain manufacturer of Hungary. And here in this quarter, you find even a gloves manufacturer and really great cafes. So it's amazing to spend some time and actually explore the local culture in this part of the city. And obviously, as we have 22 wine growing regions all around the country, Pécs region has its own wineries as well, which is the Villány area. And I think this is where you can find the best red wines in Hungary, in this area. And you see that small houses, those are all wine cellars. And this is, for example, in a very small village near to Pécs. And every family who lives in that town actually owns their own wine cellar as well. So it's really like local, and they are welcoming guests with a really friendly environment. And even you can do truffle hunting in this area. And going back up to the west side of the country, to the Lake Balaton area. Lake Balaton is the largest freshwater lake of Central Europe. And after Budapest region, actually, this is the one where there is a gastronomical boom. You find amazing restaurants and wineries all over the lake. It's the greatest vacational area for Hungarians as well, and internationally renowned as well. And there is even a bicycle route around the lake, which is 120 miles long. You can bike through the whole lake in 3-4 days. There are as well Sherpa companies which can carry the luggages. And as well, there are great accommodation options along the route. And of course, around the lake, we have lots of culture as well, not only great for family fun for the summertime, but Keszthely is here, the Festetics Palace is the biggest Baroque complex of palaces in this area, which has an enormous cultural value as well. And the library, which you can see in the picture, is the only Baroque library which remained untouched during the Second World War, as actually like the captain of the Soviet troops found it so beautiful as well that he actually put a wall in front of the library, and nobody could touch it and even experience that it was there. So this is the story why the library is still there untouched to this day. And of course, we've been talking a lot about thermal water. Lake Heavis is another amazing thermal lake, which is the largest biologically active thermal lake in the world. And Heavis itself is a town, it's a resort town, has 11 spa hotels and medical hotels as well, and 19 other hotels which are great for long stays as well. So for those who really want to relax and in a secluded place, I really recommend to visit Heavis. And the lake itself is naturally warm, so don't go very cold even into winter time. So you can swim and bath outside in the water even during the winter. And going to the north side of the lake, you can find the Tihany Peninsula. Here in this abbey, you can find the oldest words. They keep the oldest writings in Hungarian, dating back from the year 1055. So it's great to visit this amazing abbey, and as well the lavender fields. And even behind the little town of Tihany, there are an inner lake where you can do amazing hikes as well all over. And the town itself, Tihany, won the award of the most beautiful European village many times throughout the years. And just a fun fact, this is the most expensive town in terms of real estate prices in Hungary, even more expensive than Budapest. And another great program as well around the Lake Balaton is the Heron porcelain manufacture, which is the most well-known and the biggest one and the oldest as well in Hungary. The porcelain itself, it's known all around the world. They created the patterns as well for the royal family in England. They have a Victoria pattern. It dates back so long ago. And when you visit the manufacturer, you can see how they are preparing all the forms and patterns. And you can try out your hand as well, creating a porcelain rose or painting a heron motif even. And of course, we are going back to Budapest, and we have to mention the greater Budapest area as well. One of it, which is a great palace close to Budapest, just 40 minutes drive outside of the city, the Gödöllő Royal Palace, which was the residence of Queen Elizabeth of Austria, Sissi. She spent actually more time here than in the Hofburg, and the palace has amazing exhibitions, and you can visit the palace even with Sissi as your tour guide, dressed up all like Her Majesty the Queen, and she can tell you a lot of stories about the royal life in the palace. Another area is Esztergom at the Danube bend near Budapest, which is actually famous from its basilica. The Esztergom Basilica is the seat of the Hungarian church, actually, and the largest church in the country. So it's really great to visit for the views, for religious purposes as well. And even the city, the town itself, Esztergom, is a cute town where you can have an amazing lunch in one of the restaurants. Going to the next town at the Danube bend, actually, this is the closest town to Budapest, Szentendre. You can even take the suburban train to go out. And this is a romantic artistic village. Many artists moved out from Budapest here in the 19th century and created like a great community of artists. So it's amazing to visit galleries here or buy authentic gifts as well. It has like narrow streets, cute, colorful buildings on the Danube bank. So actually it's a great day out, involving a bit of a walk and culture as well. And obviously it can involve an amazing lunch. Even they do in one of the restaurants here an amazing cooking course, which I really recommend. All right, and the last one from the Greater Budapest area is Visegrad, which is one of the oldest fortress. Visegrad is a very little village, but still one of the most famous in Hungary, as this was as well once the place of the royals, and Visegrad was in the 17th century our capital city as well. So you can experience here the Renaissance life, dress up in Renaissance costumes and eat in the Renaissance restaurant, and even attend in night tournaments. So it's a great active day. And as you can see from the fortress, it has amazing views to the whole Danube band, actually. And obviously we arrived back to Budapest. I thought today I rather introduce you the countryside, as those sites are lesser known, but obviously in Budapest we have as well amazing architecture, great gastronomy as well, and the culture and the spa culture with all of the 10 thermal baths. So I think it's really, if you need any help with Budapest as well to arrange a program, we are here. So yeah, that was it for now. Thank you so much.
I'll just share, we'll wait for some questions to come through, but I did get some direct questions from some of the folks.
All right.
Would love for you to talk a little bit more about some of, I guess, the more popular wineries or some of the best ones to center a visit around. Let's address that one first. So anything on recommended wineries and wine culture that you want.
Oh my God, yes.
That's a long answer.
Yes. Actually, we just launched a few months back wine.hu, or I think it's in Hungarian, bor means wine, so bor.hu, which includes all of the information and all of the wineries which we recommend as well. So this is our slogan as well, Hungarian wines personally, as actually you have amazing little family-owned wineries all around the country who has, less quantity, but great quality of wines as well. And what is unique here, I think, that usually you can meet the owner, the winemaker of the winery, and who are guiding you through the vineyards, do the wine tasting for you as well. And you can do like the cellar tours with them, talk about the whole story of the family. So it makes it really local and personal as well. And we did a lot of picnics in the vineyards as well with local products, great food as well. So I will be happy to send you as well a list of recommended wineries. They are really all around the country. So really, as I mentioned, we have 22 wine growing regions. So depends which region you want to experience more, you will find the great local grape types even. And my favorite is the Tokaj wine region, first of all, but then I would go to the Pécs Villány area with the red wines. And I know Americans love red wine as well, so I think they would enjoy that area very much.
Oh, thank you. And then we have a question. Are there certain regions in Hungary that are better for families?
Actually, as you saw from the presentation as well, you find nature everywhere. So actually our regions are really complex. It involves culture, nature, and gastronomy as well all the time. So when we try to assign some of the regions which are better for families or which are not. Actually, everywhere you will find great programs for families. It depends on the kids as well, because some of them really enjoy museums as well, or explore some of the cultures of Europe, but the others actually prefer bicycling, cycling, or even sailing on a lake, or hiking, or even we have in many thermal resorts, you have not only like thermal areas, but kids clubs as well, and huge slides. And so it's really depends on the kids. But I would recommend the Balaton region. It's really great with the kids, and the Eger region as well, because of the castle as well, with the great heritage of the fights, and with the Turkish Ottoman Empire, they can have like great stories from the Turks. So I really recommend that region as well.
We're lacking in castles here in the US, so I think that would be very interesting to a child to be in a real life one. And then we have, how long would you suggest a first-time visitor spend in Hungary if they started in Budapest and then did a road trip?
I could spend, so they could spend 10 days easily, I think. I really know that it's a wishful thinking when they are coming through Europe and they spend time only in Hungary and not visiting actually other European countries. We totally get it. And for example, if you wanna connect your trip with Croatia, then start from Budapest and go to the south, stop at the Lake Balaton 2 days, and then other 2 days at the Pécs and Villány region, and then go to Croatia, for example. But if you want to do a road trip and really you are into Hungary, then spend 10 days.
10 days. That's a dream for an American. Love that.
Yes.
This is great. And then finally, it looks like the last question we have, the best way to find a DMC.
I have a lot of great DMC partners who we've been working with them, with Gabi as well. So I really just please write to me and tell me what is your main questions, or what type of clients you have, and I make sure that I connect you with the best DMC, because some of them are great fit families, some of them with really like underground and like unique programs, or some knows better the western part of the Hungary, the others the eastern one. So we know what are the expertise of our partners.
And I will say we have them online. We've had a couple of multiple partner live chats with Susanna and some wonderful DMCs and some amazing hotels. So we'll send you all the links in a recap so you can check them out, because it's so nice to hear from their voice what they specialize in. And you really can get a sense of the personalities behind those companies. So we'll definitely share those with you. Oh, we have something from Grace. Interesting. It says we have many guests interested in visiting gardens during their trip. And you mentioned Eger. Are there any other recommended garden visits?
Even at the Lake Balaton, at the Festetic Palace, which I mentioned, it has a huge English garden. I really love that. You can even take a carriage ride throughout the garden there. And yeah, Eger region, which I mentioned as well, like the Lila Füred, which was like the treasure palace hotel. There you have amazing hanging gardens as well. But even in the city of Eger, at the castle itself, it's great. But actually, like, as we have like great nature everywhere, you find gardens in every of our palaces and castles, actually, which is great to visit.
And a tough question that's going to stump you. Would you recommend Pécs or Eger if you had to choose?
Oh my God, Pécs.
Okay. And
Yeah.
we had Mark on one of our chats, so he was
Yes.
really energetic. And just to also tip back to the spa culture, we did a whole Hungary event just dedicated to health and wellness. We had a woman named Sylvia on who will blow your mind with her energy.
Yes.
She was really able to speak to how it how it actually works, and in one, the largest, I guess I think she's the largest complex, isn't she, or one of them.
So she is working for the spa company, those spas which are owned by the state. So they have actually 10 different spas throughout Budapest. So she can really help you with any of the spas.
No, she was wonderful, but I will send everyone the links. And what we'll do is we'll recap this. We will make sure that you can get links to the recording if you missed any portion. We'll make sure that you have Susanna's information, send you a couple of different bucket list documents that you can, that I mentioned in the chat, which are beautiful, great for inspirations. And if you've already got a Hungary program, please connect with her to see how you can enhance it. And if you're also looking at starting one, this is a really good place to start, and we'd love to continue the chat. So please reach out and we can make sure that you're connected to pair you with the right DMC and experienced partners. Ooh, Abby says launching Budapest in a few weeks. Very excited. So that's a good
Very
chat.
good.
For
Amazing.
sure.
Yes. Thank you, Abby, for that.
Yes, we'll support that expansion, Abby. Absolutely. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this. This was wonderful. Enjoy your lunch, and we will connect you, everybody, together in one stream, and we will look forward to what you're able to bring together in the future.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.